This is the Andu Kedei Show.
Welcome to the first edition of 2021 of the show of the podcast. Today, hoops only. We are only 1-2 days away from having some tennis. It's going to be the tournaments in Delray Beach for the men and ATP, and for the women, where are we going to play? In Abu Dhabi, I think. So, I'm excited for that. Obviously, it's the start of the new tennis season. Hopefully, there will be no more cancelled tournament. Right now, Indian Wells is postponed, as far as everyone knows, but no one knows where it will take place. It will probably be a mess because you will have to rearrange the schedule, whatever. Hopefully, they will find a way to do so, to manage to do this and please everyone. I don't think that's possible, but I trust the ATP and the WTA. So, hoops only today, NBA talk today. The second week of the NBA has passed. All the teams have losses, all the teams have wins. There is no undefeated team. There is no team without a win. Let's start, first of all, with what happened last night, because a couple of things happened, and I want to talk about this. So the first game of the day was Boston against Detroit. So I watched the second half of this game, and I know Kemba is not playing, but Jaylen Brown he had 28 points, I think, in the third quarter, and he only missed 2 shots, and those were 3-pointers. The 2-pointers, 100%, all of them made. So I said in the podcast a week ago, that Jaylen Brown so far is better than Jason Tatum this season so far. At least from a scoring standpoint, because he had last night 1 rebound, 3 assists. Tatum almost had a triple-double. But Jaylen Brown took another leap. And that's great. Kemba is not playing, so he needs to do that. And if he keeps his level, he might be an all-star. Right now he is, in my eyes. I know it's still early, but it's a basketball show. It's a talk show you are listening to. Of course I'm going to say things that, it might be early. There are only 2 weeks gone. But I need to say something. These are my opinions. Then, I said that before Jeremy Grant, he got his team. He's chucking 20 to 30 shots a game. He's playing good, but this Detroit team, I really don't understand. Blake Griffin. So, this is very hard for me to say because I didn't think Blake Griffin will look this bad. And I rooted for him because injuries suck. And I know you're a part of the game, but they suck. And you don't want to see a player that was a perennial all-star. So it was the end of the game. And he had 2, maybe not wide open threes, but kind of open threes. And the first one he airballed. And the second one, I don't know if he airballed or he hit the rim, but it just didn't look good. And then he attacked the rim, he got fouled, went to the free throw line, and split the free throws, 1 in, 1 out. And the Detroit Pistons had no business being this close into this game. I don't know what happened. Jaylen Brown looked stellar. His efficiency was off the charts. Ojale started the fourth quarter hitting some threes. I don't know. So these are my thoughts about this game and about some of the players from those teams. Jaylen Brown, all-star right now. Jeremy Grant got his wish. I really don't know what more to add. I mean, my expectations for this Detroit Pistons team is, I don't know, around 10 and 15 seeds right now. They're in last place with only 1 win and 5 losses. I don't know if that's okay. That's what Jeremy Grant wanted, but whatever. Let's move to the next game because this one I really thought it was kind of interesting. So Nets against Wizards. The first game the Wizards won with Westbrook. The season for them started disastrous. They were 0-5. Right now they're on a 2-game win streak. But Bill is averaging 30 points and I'm pretty sure Rob Westbrook is still averaging a triple-double or close to that. But they just were simply not winning. They get Rui Hachimura back. This is good for them. He's a good player. Thomas Bryant was eating last night. 21 points. Bertans with 15. But still, the leading scorers of the game were Kyrie and KD. And yeah, Dinwiddie is out. Kyrie had 30 and 10. Durant 28 and 11. I didn't expect the Nets to lose. And the two best scorers of the game were KD and Kyrie. Joe Harris had 16. It's not a bad game. Jarrett Allen had double-double, 14 and 11. He also had 4 blocks, but it didn't look like he had 4 blocks. I don't know. Good job for the Washington Wizards because they look like found a way to win. And this is a win against a good team. And Brooklyn started the season like making a statement. They destroyed the league the first 2 games. Now they're on the 9th seed. Yeah, this will probably not last. They will 1000% make the playoffs. It's crazy to assume that, but in their last 5 games, they only won 1. So that's interesting. I know Kyrie and KD didn't play, I think, 2 games out of all those 7 that they played so far. And those dudes, Kyrie and KD, are both on the top 10 of top players scoring-wise this season. KD is averaging 28.2, Kyrie 26.8. So they are doing a terrific job. And Dinwiddie, as I said, when he went down, he was not that great stats-wise in the box score. But his impact of the game, just the fear of another great ball handler on the roster was... We will see how much that affected them. While for the Wizards, they are now on the 13th seed. And I predicted and I wanted them to be a playoff seed. I think they will. And if not, I think Scott Brooks, their coach, is on the last year of his deal. He might get fired sooner rather than later. There is no way he will get a new contract with the Wizards if they don't make the playoffs. There is no way this is happening. Now, the next game was Memphis. I didn't pay much attention to that because probably of the injuries of the Memphis Grizzlies. Ja is not playing. Jaren Jackson is not playing. LeBron played 32 minutes. Yeah, 22 points, 13 rebounds. Bro, but as I said, the addition of those new guys of Harrell and Schroeder, they give so much offense and scoring. So LeBron James doesn't need to score 30 in the regular season. He might need to do that in the playoffs, but not in the regular season. Anthony Davis saying 17 points, but they got the win. Didn't necessarily looked bad. And then it was San Antonio, Utah. Kind of a blowout win for Utah. I didn't watch this game either. Looking at the box score, what can I say? Bogdanovic blew up. And yeah, I don't know what to expect from San Antonio. Honestly, I really, really don't know. Utah playoff team, I expected that. I mean, the Spurs, what I expected, let's say, was they were probably going to be in the bottom of the Western Conference because the West is so stacked. But having Greg Popovich on the team, you never know what to expect. And this team looks like they might not be contenders, but they will never surrender, tank, going to a classic, let's say, rebuild move. And hats off to them for this. Then we had Minnesota, Denver. Yeah, the only thing I want to say here is that finally Campazzo got his playing time. And he played really good, man. 15 points, 2 assists in 22 minutes. It was fun seeing him on the court. A 3-point shooter last night at least. 5 of 7 from downtown. So yeah, he's fun to watch. And I don't like, so far, I really don't like how D'Angelo Russell looks. I mean, he had a season where he was an all-star with the Brooklyn Nets. Right now, he's averaging 16 points. That's a drop-off. Towns has not played. I think he only played 2 or 3 games. Beasley is right now the leading scorer, and I don't think that's what you want. I really don't think that's what you want. Edwards had a bad game last night, only 5 points. He's still a rookie though, so I'm not putting much hope on him, but D'Angelo Russell needs to really step up his game. Then we had Phoenix Suns and the Clippers, and this was really interesting because the Phoenix Suns were the first seed with a 5-1, and the Clippers had a 4-2 record. Right now they are tied 5-2 with the Lakers. These are the 3 seeds right now: Clippers, Phoenix, Lakers in the Western Conference. And Paul George really was serious about getting his trainer, starting to the trainer that he had when he finished third, I think, in the MVP race back when he was in Oklahoma. He was incredibly efficient tonight, 63% from the field, 70% from the 3-point line. Yeah, he shot 24 shots, but it worked. He had 39 points. Kawhi, on the other hand, had a really bad game. He kind of struggled, only 15 games. Paul George picked it up. This Suns team really looks amazing, man. I mean, Paul George was the leading scorer, but then if you look at the box score, the 4 next scorers are Book, Ayton, Paul, and Saric. And yeah, I really like this Phoenix Suns team. I really do. And good job for Paul George. The ultimate test for him is, can he do this in the playoffs? Because I think, yeah, that's a meme right now. It's an unforgettable shot when he shooted that wide open three and hit the side of the backboard. I mean, this image is probably stuck inside of the back of his head right now and always. And when the Clippers go into playoffs, because they will, he needs to somehow erase that from his mind. If he already did so, hats off, well done, congratulations, because this is what he needs to do. Then we had Chicago and Dallas. Yeah, nothing to talk about. Chicago won, good job. Zach LaVine had a terrific game. Doncic has not played. Remember, Porzingis is still out, and they won by 10, and they need a 39 performance from Zach LaVine now. Chicago is interesting to me because, considering their talent, they really look like a team that could make some noise. Now, I'm not saying that they are a title contender whatsoever, but they can sneak into the playoffs and maybe hurt like the first seed. Not the first seed, like the favorites. Because if the Bulls go into playoffs, they will probably be in that 7 to 8 range, I think. And yeah, Zach LaVine is playing good, terrific scorer. Kobe White, I like how Kobe White has played so far. But they need more. They need Markkanen to step up. And I think everyone expects that since he didn't get a contract extension. I don't know why not. He's not that bad. I mean, why wouldn't you give him? It's a rookie extension. I mean, if he walks away for nothing, it's going to be terrible for them. Whatever. So they are 3-4 right now. It's a good thing that they got the win. It would have been kind of embarrassing if it didn't happen. And the game of the night was last night. Stephen Wardell Curry dropped 62 points on Damian Lillard and the Trailblazers. Amazing performance. 37 minutes, 18 out of 19 from the free throw line. Man, this is incredible. 2-pointers, 10 out of 15, and 3-pointers, 50%, 8 out of 16. So, hear me out, because this is very interesting. The NBA is so amazing, and the storyline can get so twisted. If Curry dropped 62 points and they would have lost the game, can you imagine the storyline would have been like, so Curry dropped a career high and the Golden State Warriors still didn't manage to win the game. How bad would have that been? And you can still say, if you really hate them, and I'm not hating on them, but they are 3-3 right now, yeah? Yes. One game they won off the buzzer beater. One game Curry needed to drop 62 for them to win. So Curry is a terrific player. The best player on this team by far right now. Klay Thompson is not playing. But what I want to say is that Draymond Green. He played 2 matches so far. 23 minutes per game. No points. Okay, he had 1 point. No field goals made. And you don't want that. I mean, Curry will ball out this season. I'm certain of that. He might be the scoring leader, the scoring champ again. He has averaging 32 points right now. But if Draymond Green is not going back to his level when he won Defensive Player of the Year, I don't think the Golden State Warriors will make the playoffs. Obviously, Wiggins and Oubre need to contribute more. Wiggins looks like, okay, he's starting to play better. Remember, Wiggins is still 25. People forget it. I forgot it. He looks like he's in the league for like 10 seasons right now, and we all expect him to make that jump that he promised he might take. Kelly Oubre, 17 points last night. Decent. But he's still averaging 9 points. I mean, his start of the season was very rough. Hopefully he's going to start to play better. The Kelly Oubre trade was a desperate move because Clay went down. And when Clay comes back, he will have 2 seasons out of an NBA official court, of an official game. This will be rough. His comeback will probably be tough. I expect him to come back and play good. But I don't know if he will ever reach that overstar level again after 2 catastrophic injuries. But Draymond Green needs to do more than 0.5 points per game in 2 matches. That's inexcusable. I don't care that he had 8 assists or whatever. He also needs to put points on that scoring table. So amazing night for Steph Curry. And they played a good team, the Portland Trail Blazers. And Damian Lillard played good. And CJ played good. It's not like they played a bad team and Stephen Curry exploded. Curry balled out of his mind last night. And he's capable of replicating this performance, if not every night, every week. I know that. But he needs the help. Because as I said, right now they're 3-3. Right now they look to me like a team that might end the season 30-30 or 31-31 because they're 72 games, like a 50% record. I don't see them as a top 5 seed in the West. But last night was unbelievable from Wardell Curry. Amazing. Now, before we go, I know this is probably going to be a shorter episode. Before we go, I want to talk about some teams or some players. And I want to start with the elephant in the room. Let's say James Harden. So is he still an unhappy superstar? I don't know. He didn't play last game. I don't know why. He took some shots in the warm-up. But the Houston Rockets look better than I expected. So I said last episode, dude, James Harden, I know he only played 2 games, but he's balling out. And John Wall same. You saw John Wall in that game against Sacramento Kings the other night? Oh my God. He was unbelievable. He got his speed back. He's attacking, no fear whatsoever. And Christian Wood, we talked about Pistons earlier, and they will probably make fun of the Pistons every time Christian Wood does something unbelievable because this kid is really amazing and they let him walk for nothing. And he's on an unbelievable contract with 23.8 points so far, and I think something around 10 rebounds. He's balling out. And he's efficient. Gordon, 19 points. Yeah, he's playing good. DeMarcus Cousins, yeah. Slow start for him. I don't know if he will be as good as John Wall is. But maybe he will. We never know. Look at mother medicine, for crying out loud. John Wall looks amazing. And I didn't expect that. He was out for what, 1.5 years, two seasons? He injured himself in his home, if I remember correctly. And he balled out. And what if Harden will not get traded? I mean, I really think this Houston team can cause some problems. I don't know if they can be better than they were that season with Chris Paul. But in the same time, yeah, they didn't have Christian Wood then. Or a player like Christian Wood. They had Capella, but I would say Christian Wood is better right now than Capella was then. I know it's still early. Only had what 4 games? I mean, they only had 4 games because their first game was postponed due to coronavirus concerns, protocols, whatever. And they started the season 0-2. They went in Sacramento, got 2 W's. But John Wall, I'm speechless. He's really playing amazingly. And he played good with James Harden. I think they had a game together, right? It was that first game in... the first game they had in Sacramento. Harden 33, John Wall 22, Christian Wood 21. Speaking of Sacramento, I don't know what's happening there with the Bagley father. Yeah, I know he's a controversial figure, kind of like LeVar Ball, but maybe not with that clout, let's say, with that fame, with that platform. But tweeting while the game was playing that the Kings need to trade his son was kind of a bad look. And we don't know how Bagley is feeling, but he was injured so far in his career. So I expect more from him, and I think he can do more because he's a terrific player, and he looked different when he came into the league. Like a tall guy who can shoot the ball, has very good post moves. We'll see. I still think it's early to judge him. But what I can say without any regret is that, yeah, they made a mistake drafting Bagley in front of Trae Young, Luka Doncic. It might look like they hit the jackpot on Tyrese Halliburton because he has been playing really good this season so far. I think he didn't play in the last game when John Wall had 28, right? Yeah, no, he didn't play. I don't know why. So John Wall had 28 points, 6 assists, 2 blocks, and I think he said after the game that he's the best blocking point guard ever, or something like that. I don't know if that's true, but he's in the conversation. And speaking of James Harden, if he doesn't get traded, I was thinking of the teams that might trade for him. I mean, the Brooklyn Nets. I don't know how this is possible with Dinwiddie going out. I don't know how it would have been possible with Dinwiddie healthy, but right now I think it's really impossible. And with the Philadelphia 76ers, if they trade Harden for Simmons, I think they lose the best defender that can not guard, because no one is guarding Kevin Durant, but it's not like he will lock down KD and he will have 8 points if they meet in the playoffs. But he can really defend Kevin Durant. So would you want that? Because the Sixers are balling so far. The additions of Seth Curry, wow, fits in like a glove. Would you really want to change that for James Harden? I mean, yeah, James Harden is a better player than Simmons right now. But the defense that Simmons can play, and Simmons started the season not bad, but not at his best so far either. So are you trading for James Harden? I know Daryl Morey would. I don't know if the 76ers front office and management will agree with Daryl Morey on this one. And I think Morey would probably prefer, I mean, not Morey, everyone in the Philadelphia 76ers would probably prefer a trade like Tobias Harris. And so Simmons and Harden and Embiid can play same time, same court. But Tobias Harris has been better. And this is what I expected. He got Doc Rivers back while he was his coach with the Clippers when he was the most successful, Tobias Harris, I mean. And he's more confident with the role now that Al Horford is gone. And yeah, the Sixers really look good. Better than I expected. Miami, will they trade for James Harden? I don't think so. Jimmy Butler had a bad start of the season. He got injured. The Bucks? I don't think so. And I don't think they would trade Harden for a team in the West. Like Clippers or the Warriors. And no, I think neither of these teams want to jeopardize what they have for Harden. Maybe Warriors to risk it. Trade Wiggins and Oubre and no, I think Wiseman will need to be in the deal. So Wiggins and Wiseman and some picks, I don't know. But I don't think either they would want to do that. Although I think it would be fun to see Curry and Harden play together. I don't know if this is what they want. But I feel like if somehow Harden is going to flip the switch and be like, okay, F it, I'm gonna stay here, I'm gonna play here. And somehow try to be happy and try to work things out with John Wall and Christian Wood. Who knows? Wouldn't that be a terrific story? I'm not saying they'll be the favorites to win the championship, but they are a terrific guard combination. Because John Wall is a good defender. Great defender. James Harden can defend also. So yeah, I mean, I don't really know. But I said that I think it will be better if they trade James Harden rather sooner than later. But right now, I really want to see more of this Harden Wall Wood trio. I don't think that's any trio in the league that is averaging over 23 points right now. I know they only played 4 games and other teams have played 7, for example, but it's intriguing to me, this Houston Rockets team. So, yeah, I think I will wrap up the episode here because nothing more I would want to say. I want to talk about some few things from the game last night. And this James Harden story, never-ending saga. Yeah, in the last week, I don't think there were essential news, let's say. I don't think something crazy happened, a story about James Harden, because I would have probably heard it. But yeah, this is what I wanted to say in this episode. As I said, this is the first episode of 2021. Go crazy, be healthy. Thank you guys for listening. Peace out.